This video will discuss the guidance for this week for the group project, an overview of APA requirements and workflow. The Ethical Case Project requires strict adherence to APA formatting standards, which ensures academic integrity and consistency across all submissions. APA formatting governs citation style, reference lists, headings, and overall document structure, making it essential for every team member to understand these rules before contributing to the project. The workflow begins with individual preparation, including taking the APA format quiz to establish a shared baseline of knowledge. This step minimizes formatting errors and streamlines the editing process later. Each team member must submit their perspective on the case, incorporating ethical, legal, management, and HR considerations. These individual contributions provide a comprehensive foundation for discussion and decision making. Once all views are collected, the team will collaborate and select a single ethical approach to guide the project. This choice should align with the case requirements and be supported by credible research. After selecting the approach, the team reviews the written project requirements to ensure compliance and begins compiling research in a structured manner consistent with APA guidelines. Assigning a dedicated editor is considered best practice. This person will integrate all research, maintain a consistent voice, and ensure proper formatting throughout the document. The editor also manages version control and is solely responsible for submitting the final draft. This structured process promotes clarity, accountability, and quality, reducing confusion and duplication of effort. By following these steps, the team can produce a cohesive, well-researched, and professionally formatted submission that meet the academic standards and reflect a unified ethical stance. One point here: whoever edits the written paper is not responsible for writing the complete paper, formatting the complete paper. They are only there to compile the information and the research and make sure that it has consistency as far as voice and consistency as far as APA formatting. The following will be some steps on completing the APA format quiz, submitting individual views on the case. The first step is for all team members to complete the APA format quiz. This activity ensures that everyone understands the fundamental principles of APA style, including in-text citations, reference lists, and document structure. Familiarity with APA rules is critical because the written portion of the project must comply with these standards to avoid penalties and maintain academic credibility. The quiz serves as a diagnostic tool, highlighting areas where individuals may need additional review. Common challenges include proper citation of electronic sources, formatting of headings, and correct use of punctuation in references. By addressing these issues early, the team reduces the likelihood of errors in the final submission. Completing the quiz also fosters accountability as each member demonstrates readiness to contribute effectively to the project. This shared understanding simplifies collaboration, allowing the team to focus on content development rather than formatting corrections. Furthermore, APA compliance supports ethical scholarship by ensuring proper attribution of ideas and avoiding plagiarism. In summary, the APA format quiz is not merely a formality, it is a foundational step that underpins the integrity and professionalism of the entire project. Teams that prioritize this step set themselves up for success by creating a strong, consistent framework for all subsequent work. Each team member must submit their individual perspective on the case, providing a reasoned argument for the solution they believe is most appropriate. This submission should address four key dimensions: ethical considerations, legal implications, management strategies, and HR issues. Ethical analysis involves evaluating the moral principles that guide decision making, such as fairness, transparency, and responsibility. Legal considerations require understanding relevant laws and regulations that may affect the proposed solution, ensuring compliance and minimizing risk. Management aspects focus on operational feasibility, resource allocation, and organizational impact, while HR issues pertain to employee relations, diversity, and workplace policies. By incorporating these elements, each viewpoint becomes a comprehensive proposal that can inform team discussions. Submitting individual views also encourages critical thinking and ensures that diverse perspectives are represented before the team selects a unified approach. This process promotes inclusivity and prevents groupthink as members are required to articulate and defend their positions. Additionally, these submissions serve as a valuable resource for research as they highlight areas that require further evidence or clarification. Ultimately, this step lays the groundwork for the collaborative decision making and ensures that the final project reflects a well-rounded, thoroughly considered ethical stance. Next, we will select the ethical approach, review requirements, and organize research. After reviewing all individual submissions, the team must engage in a structured discussion to select the ethical approach that will guide the project. This decision should be based on strength of arguments presented, alignment with organizational values, and feasibility within the context of the case. The chosen approach becomes the foundation for the written assignment and determines the direction of subsequent research. Teams should consider factors such as stakeholder impact, long-term issues, and compliance with legal and regulatory frameworks. Selecting an ethical approach is not merely a theoretical exercise. It has practical implications for how the project is perceived and implemented. To facilitate consensus, teams can use decision-making tools such as weighted scoring or ethical frameworks. Documenting the rationale for the chosen approach is essential, as it demonstrates transparency and accountability. This documentation also serves as a reference point during the drafting process, ensuring that all arguments and evidence align with the agreed upon ethical stance. By collaborating on this decision, the team fosters ownership and commitment, which are critical for producing a cohesive and persuasive final submission. Once the ethical approach is selected, the team should revisit the written project requirements to ensure full compliance. This review includes verifying formatting guidelines, content expectations, and submission protocols. Understanding these requirements up front prevents costly revisions and ensures that the final document meets academic standards. The next step is to organize research in a manner consistent with the chosen ethical framework. This involves identifying credible sources, compiling evidence, and structuring arguments logically. Best practices include creating a shared repository for research materials. We are going to be using Teams as that collaborative platform. Also, how to use citation management tools and maintaining detailed notes on how each source supports the ethical stance. Teams should also establish clear roles for research tasks to avoid duplication and ensure comprehensive coverage of all relevant issues. Consistent application of APA formatting during this stage is critical, as it simplifies integration into the final draft and reduces risk of errors. By systematically reviewing requirements and organizing research, the team creates a strong foundation for writing, ensuring that the final submission is both academically rigorous and ethically sound. A best practice is assign a team editor so you can maintain consistency. Designing a single team member as the editor and compiler is a best practice that ensures consistency and quality in the final submission. The individual is responsible for integrating all research contributions, maintaining a uniform writing style, and applying APA formatting throughout the document. A consistent voice enhances readability and professionalism, making the paper more persuasive and cohesive. The editor also manages version control, preventing confusion and duplication of effort. To support this role, the team should provide timely feedback and updates, while respecting the editor's authority to make final stylistic decisions. The editor should use such tools as citation managers and grammar checkers to streamline the process and uphold academic standards. Importantly, only the designated editor should submit the final document to avoid errors related to multiple versions or incomplete drafts. This centralized approach reduces risk and ensures accountability, as one person is clearly responsible for the integrity of the submission. By following this protocol, the team can deliver a polished, well-organized paper that meets all requirements and reflects a unified ethical perspective. Okay, let's take a look at a couple things here that are going to be important to you. This may or may not be your site, but you're going to find these items here anyway. And so if you have any questions on APA formatting, you can go to the Getting Started and come down here and you'll find the Purdue OWL Writing Lab. And so if you click on that, it'll take you to the Purdue OWL, and it will be very helpful if you have specific questions about APA formatting. You should be able to get most of your formatting and APA information. So you're going to find the APA format quiz. We're going to come down here to the week 4, and we'll click on that. And you'll see when you get down here, you've got the APA study materials. And so you can click on that. You're going to have 3 documents here. And you're going to have the study guide, which is going to give you the basics and overview of what the APA formatting is as far as citation, layout, those type of things. And then there'll be a study guide for the quiz. So you can look at this, and that'll give you questions and a worksheet for you to work on. And then down here, we have the Business Case Study APA Remote Work. Now, this will show you what a completed APA format paper should look like. So let's go ahead and get that. So it's going to show you what the front page should look like and, different formatting. It's going to have an abstract and then the headings. Now, this is only a page long. Yours is going to be 5 to 7 pages long. And then, of course, you got your references here. But this is just to give you an idea of what is going to be at least a benchmark or acceptable for you as far as formatting and citation and those type of things. Then the last thing I want you to take a look at here is let's go to your guidance. So you'll have some instructor guidance here on the group project. You'll be watching this video. But down here, this is going to give you the written report requirements. So the last few weeks, I've been giving you a feel to do the ethics selection and start doing some of the initial research. But here we're going to get into what the specifics are. So we'll open that up. And so you'll come down, you'll see that it'll ask you the specific questions that need to be addressed, what areas need to be addressed. They're going to go through and tell you what the format and layout is for the required requirements here. So, for instance, 6 pages, double space. So these are the things that you need to specifically address for the written work. So those are the things that are kind of key that I want you to be aware of here. All right, let's finish up with a checklist. Take the APA format quiz. You need to develop your thoughts on the ethical approach. Start some basic research on the elements of the case, such as the ADA, age discrimination, HR, etc. Submit your thoughts on the case and ethical approach to the group members using Teams. Discuss and elect the ethical approach you're going to use. Assign member research contribution duties. and select a team editor. And as always, if you have any questions, you can contact me on messages or by email, myers-d@mssu.edu.